Today is a special episode, and today we are going to redefine threat intelligence. When we say about threat intelligence, there is not only one, but there are several factors that comes into our mind, especially who are the people for SOC analyst or security analyst. It can come from proactive detections, that means your threat hunting, your improvement of your detection score, doing better detections and optimizing your detection level. Even if you want to do really the contextualization on decision making, and of course if you want to take decision faster, and of course when you are doing probably the real collaborations and sharing, how do you do proper planning towards your SOC? Threat intelligence is everywhere. So in this area, if I put this question to you, how do you apply threat intelligence? Do you have any platform? Do you have any tool which helps you to accommodate all of your things? So the screen or the image that you are seeing right now in front of your screen, have you seen that before? Do you recognize what is this platform called? Have you ever used it? If not, don't worry at all. We are going to bust a lot of myths about threat intelligence, and I am gonna show you probably the best possible thing right now in cybersecurity space, which can give you threat intelligence feed, threat intelligence correlation, threat intelligence integrations, sharing platform, and lot of other features. So without wasting any further time, let's jump in. So if I try to draw down the pictures of real pain points right now today in the industry of everyone, for SOC analyst, for security analyst, or whoever working in the security operations. So all of these things, whatever you are right now seeing in the screen, is a real pain. Of course, data overload. We are literally working with terabytes of data, and without proper pivot point, you literally have no clue how to handle that much of data. That means that the noise basically. Then the lack of contextualization, whether you are working as a threat hunter or you are working as a threat analyst. Now, alert fatigue is a real problem in the industry right now. So if you cannot properly contextualize, that means you cannot properly tell the fidelity of the data, and you can say that how much the data or the alert that you are working with, it's true positive or false positive, you cannot win the game. And to decide that factor, you need something which is nothing but the threat intelligence. Next point, I'll come to this one later, but which is the more important factor in terms of security ops is timeline. Now we are running behind hundreds of incidents, hundreds of alerts and events. Now a timeline, which is a very critical situation for me, if I cannot deliver or if I cannot detect, which is also called MTTA, right, which is nothing but your mean time to acknowledge. Then there comes MTTR, which is mean time to resolve, or even there is another one which we call MTTD, mean time to detect. Until unless you have a proper resource, right, which can back up your data, that whatever the things that you are doing with and what are the raw data, and you can make proper contextualization on them, you are losing the game on the time. So without having proper intelligence, I believe it is very difficult to maintain all these three pillars of security operations, and of course you need a threat intelligence for that. Now in the same aspect, when I say human expertise bottleneck, so we as a human being, you would be needing lot of resources, lot of people who are actually expertise in threat intelligence. So they need to go into the open source platform, they need to spend a lot of hours doing a lot of manual works, and of course there are so many different platforms, right? At the same point in time, we also tend to lose our focus, what is right, what is wrong, and then from where to choose the actual specific data, right? That is very difficult. So if you have a solution which can give you the problem statement, write this, and we can paint a picture, a beautiful canvas which can help you out to solve all these problems, that's well good, right? But before doing that, what are the other problem areas? So of course I'll talk about this integration issues and quality and relevance, right? I quickly touch base on the human bottleneck about quality and relevance. So that is another main factor, that when you are talking or when you are choosing about threat intelligence, is very important that you do properly quantify your intelligence, right? And integration, oh my god, this is a pain, real pain, that you come along with such lot of platforms, and if you want to integrate, let's say, your MISP or your sticks and a lot of the other areas, you really are something like you are struggling at the bottom, right? Now all of these things, if you have a very high pocket cost and licensing factor, you can never ignore. And of course, a lack of sharing culture. You cannot share your intelligence with some other people in a trusted manner. And what is the legal and ethical concern for sharing a resource or sharing a threat intelligence in our cyber community, right? It's becoming a challenging factor, right? So in this whole era, right, so in this all pointers, right, if I can give you a proper, as I mentioned, right, so we are painters, and if we get a proper good canvas which can solve all of these problems that I am talking about, nothing better than that. So here I introduce you the platform, which is nothing but our very known any.run. As you can see in the screen, any.run has different product. So you might be already aware of their products, which is Sandbox, but wait, there are more. They have threat intelligence Lookup, they have threat intelligence Feed. So here in this case, I would like to mention two of the points, is that while this TI or the threat intelligence Lookup can pull the data from Sandbox and the link directly to it, if you know about any.run Sandbox, but the Sandbox is standalone product and it's highly capable product which actually came first, and we all know about it. Now threat intelligence and the threat intelligence Feed are the main important aspect which we are going to talk about now in this whole episode. Before we jump into the actual thing that we are going to talk about, but how you are going to navigate through and how you are going to use the any.run platform, right? So the first thing is that if you come down and if you click on any.run, that is the parent website, click on their product, and we have been already using the Sandbox, so you can click on the Sandbox and it will route to their different standalone platform, which is a Sandbox. But if you want to use their threat intelligence Lookup or threat intelligence Feed, you can just click here, okay? And after that, if you scroll down, if you click on get started, it will route you to intelligence.any.run, okay? And from here you can start utilizing it. So of course I have been logged in already, so if I click a log out over here, so it will it will not allow me to do much until unless I log in, right? So the thing is that once you purchase your plan and you are done with the call with the sales team, you can log in here with your activity or with your account, and you will be presented with the threat intelligence things that we are going to talk about right now. So maybe we have been taking or utilizing any.run as a sandbox, right? Now this particular platform, which is called intelligence.any.run, right, this particular platform has everything and has every answer that I just talked about right now, okay? So we are going to focus on mainly or majorly few of the areas. So first areas is of course the Lookup, okay, which is a beautiful area where you can get all of your answers. I'll show you in some time right now. After that, we have something called TI Feed, which is nothing but an accumulated resource of your threat intelligence feed, which resolves your problem of your integration. Let me go to TI report first, okay? So now in this particular area, as I have mentioned, so these are the list of threat intelligence report that they have, okay? So for example, I can choose any of it. So let's choose Mustang Panda, okay, or Mustang Panda for the time being. And now if you see, that has been released not very older report. It's on 12th of February 2025. It properly gives you the overview about about the threat actor. I'll zoom in a little bit if that makes much more sense to you. And then of course it gives the background of it, something like origination country, what is their motivation, when they have first seen, and of course their targeted country. the industry that they attack. So many of the times I feel this problem in our cyberspace, that we try to build our detections on everything, okay, but every threat actor is not active on all of the different sectors, right? So it is very important for us to understand that which particular threat actor actually observes or operate on a particular set of organizations, and then build on top of that, right? So that is a real pain in our industry, so that AnyRun is solving through their product, which I love about it. Now coming to the next section, where it comes about the IOC portions, and if you see, these looks like to be I feel the different names of threat, this particular threat actor, but if you see, this is I love about it, right? So sample, if I click on it, so AnyRun just gives me the sample from where I can see more details about that particular sample, and this routes me to their sandbox platform, right? So I'm not going to run the sandbox right now, but if you have utilized AnyRun in your past life, you know how this works. But the beautiful thing is that you don't need to go anywhere to check, or even if you do not have a local sandbox, which I anyway prefer to have a local sandbox, you don't need to worry, right? So they have a sandbox, right, which is directly integrated to that, and you just right click onto it and it's just opened up, just like magic, right? And now if you think from the particular these threat actors and how you can leverage their the main feature, which is nothing but the lookup. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll open the lookup in a new window over here for your easy purpose. And now if you see the Mustang Panda, here it is written, they work with the this is like pool loader, uses a legitimate Windows utility, mavinject.exe, which you all know it's a legitimate utility, and to inject the malicious code into waitfor.exe process. So this is IOA for them, that particular threat actor works, and that's beautifully written over here. Now what they are trying to give us, that they are giving us this particular query that readily you can look into it. So there are two things. Okay, so first thing is that you can copy it from here, which is this plus or this bubble icons or this box icons. You can copy it from here, or even you can copy it from there also, or the easiest process is that you just click here. It will route you to the intelligence platform, that means the search query platform, which is their lookup platform, and you can put the search and you can change the timeline of here as well. Okay, so let us put the search on, let's say like 180 days. So I'll try to minimize the screen a little bit so it makes little visible for you. And now here comes the actual part. So actually in their data set, it's a huge bigger data set what AnyRun is all about, right? They are helping I think like millions of threat intelligence. They are gathering all this threat intelligence feed and putting that into a singular platform for us, for people like us to snatch it and to help how it is actually working. So if you see, they have the intelligence on their database, this particular binary which is active on this particular process, or let's say this command line, and it is working there. Okay, and now if you see that they are also giving you the mutex and which particular event that it has been observed. Okay, so from here you can build right up your detections, isn't it? So if you scroll down here a little bit, it is also giving you the task. Right now, what I love about this particular thing is that if you now click on this, this will route you to the sandbox again. So what they are basically trying to do, if there are anyone who is already dealing with this resource, dropping the data and running this analysis by their own, they are capturing everything as a threat intelligence lookup field and providing us a platform where we can just put that command line and just put it something like similar, and we can run it with it, right? So not only that, right? So this is how easy it is, where you can capture all of the things, which is nothing but your IP addresses, your all of the IOCs, for example, like your hash values, your MD-SUM, your SHA values, and all of those things. And you can even look up at how this thing basically works. So this is all about this particular window that I am showing you right now. This is their sandbox, but what I love, as I mentioned already, the integration between their different platforms all together, that they are binding it up. Okay, Now if I go back over here, so now if you notice over here, you can download this search result as well, which is a beautiful data for you, and it is providing you in a JSON format. Okay, if I pull that JSON data for you here real quick, so this is the whole JSON data that I just downloaded, right? And the plus point is that now if you have a SIM solution, if you have any other platform, of course if you are running it on top of something like on a SOC, or you are working as a SOC analyst, you would definitely have a SIM solution. So the plus point is that you can readily integrate and you can push this data anywhere that you want. So I'll touch base about the ANY.RUN flexibility, which gives you the power to work outside of ANY.RUN platform as well, because they have a very robust API and SDK platforms as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's not go ahead of our time, but I just wanted to touch base upon that. Once you download it, you can either directly index them up on your SIM or directly use their API key to push their data, or use their SDK platform to push their data out of ANY.RUN platform as well, right? So now if I go back for a second in their threat intelligence report data, so now they are pulling everything all together, okay, and they are not only giving the their particular intelligence data, but they are also providing the link. That means you can say the other references also from where this you can gather more and more information. For example, if you see, this is coming from Unit 42 Palo Alto, right? Now this is also from Palo Alto, like that way, right? So it is providing you all of the information about a particular threat actor in a single page, okay? And from there, you are not only able to dive deep on the threat intelligence platform, that means they are Lookup, to gather more information about it, and also another feature that you can load up their sandbox platform from there to see how that particular infection is basically behaving, or how that infection is basically working up, right? Now apart from that, if you have already known, and if you are looking for the intelligence, for example, I want to use not from a threat, I would say not from a threat intelligence report, but if I want to know about a particular threat, so how I can use this lookup field, right? So if you see in this particular lookup field, they have all of this, I would say this is the helping text using which you can query, right? And it is as simple as it, right? So if you just name, for example, threat name, so you can type it something like, ransomware, okay, and literally you can use the asterisk strings here as well, just like any KQL symbol works. So it will give you that particular data wherever they would have a threat name which matches anything which is related to ransomware. And now here, if you notice, they are tagifying it as well, okay? So all of the ransomware data field they are presenting all these task list in their data set, and the power of it is that in a single query you can pull up anything, okay? And now let's assume that you are working on a incident, okay, where you have identified a particular process which is querying, and that has been triggered by a IOA rule on a EDR, right? You can definitely have that, but how would you contextualize it, right? If your EDR is not telling whether, because it's a IOA based rule, or sometime it can also happen that there is a ML based rule also there which is triggering up, right? So how would you make much more sense about it, right? That is the answer. This is the answer probably for you, okay? So if I try to load up some more queries for you, sorry about this. So if I load up some more queries about it, for example, like this. So let's see. So this is one query where I am trying to look for a command line argument, right? Where someone has launched a cmd.exe with a system info, and then they have tried to look for a find string, and they are trying to look for some other information as well. So this is an attacker behavior. This is a tactic that a lot of attacker does, right? So if I search about it, so it will tell me that if ANY.RUN has any information, or if there is any malware, any attacker group that is doing the same kind of feature or same kind of behavior in any of the sample that they have already analyzed, right? So it is taking some long time because it's going on the searching. But I love about this that it is not something like, just a normal IP matching. It is not telling you the reputation of the IP. It is not directly telling you how bad or how good it is, right? Rather, it is telling you that what is the contextualize it, whether it has observed the same thing or not. So maybe I'll try to reduce the time frame. That helps. Now in this particular area, it helps me a lot. Okay, observe. It's super fast, right? So I just loaded the time frame with a little smaller time frame, and it is now giving me the exact result. So the result has been seen on 19th May. That means just 2 days before. I'm just talking about it, right? So now it is a very interesting field that it has been observed in 19th May and 17th May, multiple, and then 14th May also, and many other cases, right? So if I just want to go and understand more about it, it will tell me what are the command line it has observed, what are the process ID it has observed, and how these are all related. I can download the all of the results as well. Okay, isn't it very interesting? And the power of it, like if I just click on this, it will just tell me. So these are the features over here, right? So it is telling me that how many or what are the actual analysis from where it has captured. Okay, so this particular thing is actually telling you about the verdict of that particular process, which is like, you know, if you are if you want to do this kind of analysis on anything like, let's say, virus total or some platform, this gives you more power because it is taken from a real life analysis. Okay, so and if I go back over here for a second, if I click on this first link, it will tell me which task that was associated with you when this particular thing has been submitted, right? So this was that particular task which is coming from there. Okay, so if you go back over here, it will tell you about all of the process and all of the machines which was presented there. So in the previous screen which you are seeing over here, it is the advanced detailed of that particular process that I am interested in. But if you go here, so you just need to click this smaller arrow button here, and it will take you to this particular process, and it will tell you what is the actual malware which has shown this particular behavior. Okay, so what exactly we are dealing with here, if I just take a quick pause and quick recap of it. Now the main propaganda over here is the power of the threat intelligence over here is you may have a TTP that you have observed in your own network, right, or your own organization via any channel, via the threat hunting channel or via the threat ops channel or via the SOC normal alert process or a triage process. You have identified a TTP. How would you verify that the exact same TTP has been observed by any malware or not? That is very unique question, right? I haven't seen that there is a platform or there is a solution which can provide me that answer. Maybe it can provide me the answer whether there is a exact match of the name of a binary or a hash value is exact matching, which is against, you know, very lower state of the pyramid of pain. If you see the pyramid of pain, it's a very lower state of that particular area. But here we are not talking about that. We are talking about the TTP, which is a higher phase or the topper area of the pyramid of pain, right? Now, if that same feature or if that same process or if that same TTP we can match exactly with a malware or with a sample that has been submitted or that has been analyzed already by some sandbox, isn't that beautiful? I just love it. I'm just loving the using of this platform. So now this particular area, what it is telling me that this has been already submitted and all of the things has been already captured over here. And if I try to analyze it over here, it can give me all of the data and what is the needed information. You can just now, you can download this sample over here also. You can just check about it. You can take any of the action. You can just download the sample. You can put out the IOC, you can check the mal configuration, and even you can restart the analysis. Okay, this is all about already we know if you are using the sandbox. But the beautiful part is it will tell you, of course, on all of the areas wherever it has seen, and you can jump in and out between this analysis, right? So that is the more powerful thing that I love about it. And if you see how flexible this particular area is, and not only about this particular area, so you can write down any of the features or any of the queries that has been mentioned over here. Now, the next thing I have already told you about this particular area, which I have already looked into. I'll reload this result up real quick, and I will show you there is another thing which is Yara, right? Now, the people who are not about, who don't know about Yara, you can take up our Yara for incident response, a small atomic course, link in the description. You can check about that. But the main thing is all about that wherever you are doing this particular analysis, right? Wherever you have seen this thing has been done, you are getting that Yara detections for that particular sample as well. It is really beautiful, and you can scan your using this Yara symbol throughout your whole data set, okay, which is again powerful. And if you want to do this kind of Yara scanning, for example, you have a particular file or you have a particular malware which has hit on your environment, you quickly created a Yara file out of it and you put it here, just like a retro hunting feature, right? So this is just powering up a retro hunting. You put a new Yara file over here and you just bang on the search, and it will tell you that what all the things that is presented over here, okay, which is you have 23 files. And now what you can do, you can now go back and look for this files, which is nothing. So this is a agent Tesla Yara file, but it can give you many more things as well. So there are no I think there are no sandbox analysis which is present for this file, but let it load it up. No, of course it also has something. Okay, so of course, so agent Tesla is also there. So this is the power, guys, right? So by which you are checking the area from starting a threat intelligence feed. From there you can route to TI lookup. Not even if you don't want to follow that path, you can directly come to threat lookup based on your feasibility, different aspect and different covering different use cases. First use case could be you have already some TTP, you want to search the exact pattern if that has been observed in other network or not. Second thing is that running a Yara scan and look wherever you can find that sample. Third thing is that, of course, the checking about the fidelity of a particular indicator, whether it's really a true positive, whether it really has some malicious nature into that or not. It gives you all this framework in real step-by-step manner. Okay. Now, if I move one step ahead of it, so now the next thing is the important factor is that the TI report I have already covered, but the interesting factor is the TI feed. Most pain point for our most of the people. So if I quickly jump into this particular threat intelligence feed over here, you are getting STIX format, you are getting MISP format, and also you are getting a API key over here as well. Now the interesting part over here, if you have a threat intelligence platform and if you want to get any run threat intelligence feed for free, you can utilize their STIX format or MISP format. Okay, now what is the easiest way? You can download this thing, which is a free get demo, and what will happen, whatever things are already there in a STIX format, it will get downloaded for me. Okay, now if you see here, I have the STIX data already downloaded. I just downloaded now, and this is a STIX format. Now if you are already aware of this, by looking at this data you would understand this is STIX 2.0, right? This is not STIX 1.1. If you have a MISP instance, you will have option to run or down or upload MISP data or STIX 1.x or 2.x, but this works on STIX 2.x, okay, which is another beautiful thing. And similarly, if you want to download a MISP format, you can readily download. Yes, it's also downloaded, and if I want to show you, so now the thing is that if you take this data and if you have a MISP instance, you can go and insert that data. Okay, so this is the powerful thing. Or another option, if you have, let's say, another threat intelligence area where you want to show or where you want to integrate this, you can readily use this API keys. Okay, so I'll quickly show you two areas where you can readily and how basically it looks like. So this is a screen, or this is the area that once your integration is done, this is a MISP instance, and if you want to have a like MISP advanced way of showing the things in a dashboard. This is the sample that how it can look like. Okay. Now, apart from that, there is another option also that you can try that out once your integration is done. Of course, in the MISP, this way it will help you to map in a graphical representation that if you have a data set, if you have a IOA or a IOC, how any run can help you to mitigate that. So these are the things which are coming directly from the integration between the any run and the probably the MISP. Now here what is happening, so these are the event IDs, right, which are generated by any. Okay, so now if you have let's say a malware which has been tagged over here, which is for this particular malware, once the integration is done, what it is doing is telling the from where the attributes are coming, and if this is matching anywhere in your other feeds of any run database, is trying to map that and creating a correlation for you, just like the correlation graph or MISP. But you can do this, you can integrate any run with just by the API key, and you can run that down, okay, which solves all of your problem. We have observed that the threat intelligence integration, the feed that we already have with us, and the feed can be incorporated, and how easily is that can be incorporated. Okay, so let me quickly launch my MISP and I will show you how the data, the sticks data or the MISP data which I have just downloaded, I can upload that into MISP. Okay, so I have my MISP instance up and running here. These are the all events which are coming over here. So now what is the process? So if you go here and if you just put it as import from, so this is the standard process. If you have a MISP data set which we have already downloaded, or if you have a sticks 1 point star or 1 point or 2 point star, so I can go with MISP and I can copy the whole data set that I have just downloaded, or I can just choose the file. Okay, so if I choose the file, I go to downloads and then I just upload this particular thing over here and just click on upload. That will solve my purpose. If I want to go for a sticks format, so I'll go for sticks, I'll choose the file, I'll select the file, that's all. And now if you want to publish the data, whatever you are putting it up, you can toggle this button down and you can just hit the upload button. So once this is done, you go here, you would be able to see that the data would be already coming here and the data would be already mapped with the MISP format, just like the way you are seeing it over here, and it will be completely organized in such a way that it is already telling you what are the things that is happening with us. Okay, so I would like to show you some more things in the IP lookup field so that I can utilize this thing properly. So just like this way, so I have few of the registry keys that I have observed from some of the recent incidents in Blackpearl. So what I am going to do, I am just trying to put that registry value over here, and I have the registry key with me, so I'll quickly copy that from my data set and and as along with that I also have the registry key value. Okay, so what I will try to do, register, and what I will do, I will quickly paste the registry reject pattern. So the registry key value, what I have seen, this is a particular string that we have already observed, and this star, why I have put star, because we have seen this particular area is varying and the last area is also varying. So if I just want it, let's ask for days, and if I want to particular search, let me see if I have anything. I don't have anything. Back to 30 days. Let's see if I have something. Let's go on 80 days. Awesome. So I have a lot of data if I just put the 180-day search, because the data has been seen first on 12th of April. Okay, so now really after seeing this, I can take some firm decision that whether if I have observed this particular TTP that really we have observed in a particular incident, whether it's a correct or not. Okay, the registry value over here also, and this looks like to be a suspicious thing. If I want to really open a particular any sandbox, let me see what are the analysis is telling us all about, so that I can go back and I can take decision. Okay, so this is already suspicious as we have observed. Okay, so if I go back, okay, so process professor factura something exe which is launching this, and after that we have seen. Okay, so this is of course a suspicious process altogether, isn't it? So that proves my factor that this particular area or this particular thing is a suspicious one. Okay, so I have a similar one with this. Let me try to look that up as well, which I have a URL, by the way. Okay, so now the URL, what I will do, I will try to copy the URL from my notepad, and now after that it was anything which is ending with .php. So let me try that also out, because on the same incident we have also observed that there are some C2 communication is happening. Excellent. So if you see this particular area, it's already telling us it's malicious. Okay, so it's already giving me the verdict, and it is last seen I think just 5 days back. Wow, it's really fascinating all about it, right? So I can look up the data, or I can look up the analysis from where it has been submitted and how it looks like, so that I can take a firm decision. Okay, so it is coming from a exe binary which is loading from a temp location, and it looks like arbitrary name. Okay, but how the analysis is looking like? Okay, so as we see, this is sending a packet, this is sending a request on this particular domain, OpenAI.php. Yes, we have also observed this kind of thing in our data set as well, OpenAI.php. So basically it is a forged domain for OpenAI, which is the parent company for ChatGPT, as we already aware. So this is a particular incident that we have observed in our company few days back. So it's a very fascinating thing that I can just put not only a particular TTP, I can put a particular search on top of the thing that I have seen as a IOA in my incident, and it helps me to gather everything around that, right? So yes, this is a very interesting area that I am seeing over here. So now I can create probably I can create a Yara rule also using that, and I can look for any other sample which has this particular thing. But anyway, since it is telling us all of this analysis already over here, so I can gather more evidences from there. So we have 14 events, which is more than enough to tell me whether it's a malicious one or it's a suspicious one. And it is also telling me the synchronization, how this thing happens, what are the mutex it has created, what are the events that it has launched for, and what are the files that it has dropped. So nothing but, so events is nothing but the file until unless it gets dropped something on the. Now the one important factor before you start using this platform is the pricing. Okay, now if you go into ANY.RUN once again, if I want to show it over here, if you go into the pricing plan, so if you want to utilize and leverage their birthday planning, so I would encourage you highly, go and contact their sales team to get access on this particular platform, so you can create your subscription plan, and you would be able to utilize TI lookup or Yara search that I have just shown you. You would be able to utilize the TI feed, and you would be able to utilize the malware sandbox as an add-on as well, if you just get this planning going. So I would highly encourage you guys, please go and check and contact their sales team for this particular offer, because this is once of a lifetime opportunity that ANY.RUN is doing, and I am very much in love with this threat intelligence platform, because I have not seen much area or much spaces which gives you this kind of flexibility, where you as an individual people who can come join them, and you can literally search for any kind of IOA search, IOC search, or a TTP search event that I just shown you right now. Okay, and you can even go and integrate your any of the SIEM solution with the threat intelligence platform via just a API key, or even if you have a MISP instance, you can dump their data as a demo. The data that I showed you or just I downloaded, that's a demo. But if you want to get a real feed, you can integrate as a feed just by using their API key. It's as smooth as that. So that's pretty much it, guys, that I had to share for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. So if you have enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe Black Pearl channel, and please share the video within your peers and do all this nasty stuff so that you can and your peers can get help from ANY.RUN. So give them a shout out also in your social media if you are using ANY.RUN, or if you are using any of the things which is related to Black Pearl, which gives motivation to Black Pearl and also the ANY.RUN team. They are doing some real kick-ass work. I love their work and I wish you guys you would also get benefited from this particular thing. So yes, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy, stay safe.